and grammatical topics. We feel honored and privileged to have you here on this platform, and we promise that all of us present in the event will subscribe to your channel, English with Dr. Suresh, and get enlightened by it. Coming back to the event, we know that the event is based on the discussion of four basic communication skills, the impact of pandemic on them, and their application in a real life. Today, on the third day of our workshop, the main theme would be the importance of speaking in a corporate world. Sant Kabir once rightly remarked, ऐसी वाणी बोलिए मन का आपा खोए और उनको शीतल करे आप हूँ शीतल हुए, by which he meant that one should speak in such a way which not only should make others happy, but should also enlighten our own soul. Speaking is rightly remarked as a wonderful art, a form of communication which is the most effective in the speaking one's ideas and is used to influence and persuade others. Consider how great thinkers, political leaders, social workers like Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekananda made an exemplary remark in this world by their speeches. Hope our 5-day workshop, which is designed to instill better communication techniques by professionals and their presentation, achieve its objective of enhancing our communication skills. I ensure that you would be learning something commendably fruitful today. This brings an end to my part, and without much ado, I would like to hand over the mic to the host of the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Paramita, for enlightening us with the events and basic information. You have definitely created an atmosphere of enthusiasm and excitement for the upcoming activities. As you all may know, that any educational institute is elevated to a successful path under the guardianship of the head of institution. And so we are really grateful to our forever guiding light, distinguished director, Professor Dr. Kumkum Ray. Nothing would have come into reality without her support and guidance. Now, I would request ma'am to enlighten us with her words full of wisdom and knowledge.
Very, very good morning to our esteemed expert for the day. I am indeed delighted to see my students as the most guiding light and the sole energy of the department. Yes, all communication has to be a win-win communication. Sometimes it's difficult to make a communication which is self-defeating in its own way, but you have to do it because at all times communication cannot be absolutely sweet and heartwarming. Sometimes communication has to be for termination of services. Sometimes communication has to be given for applauding people's efforts. But at all time, we are the master of our languages that creates bonds. Even when we leave each other on grounds which are not very favorable, we must cross the bridge and look at the bridge as a parting shot to meet again, but on very positive notes. Today, the word positive has taken on a very, it has moved away from its meaning because of the pandemic. We never wish to hear positive, we always wish to hear we are negative because of the virus. So a shift in communication has happened from physical to the virtual world. And a virtual world is very demanding. Each word has to be spoken with a lot of thought. And it has to be spoken in a manner in which we create a win-win situation. With these words, I am eternally grateful to you, Dr. Manish, for having taken out your spare and precious time for all of us. And I'm sure my students and participants are going to benefit for what you have to say. We look forward to your words, and without much delay, I would thank my team of faculty members, senior faculty members, junior faculty members, the participants from all over the nation, and also my dear, dear students, because the head would be of no use without the body and the limbs. And that's why the head is filled with pride today, because in the previous 2 days and the next 2 days, I am going to see my students blossom from what they joined as freshers out of school and now blooming towards great professionals and into a beautiful womanhood and adulthood. So, with these words, I once again wish you namaskar, pranam, good morning. Over to you, our most esteemed guest, Dr. Manish. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. That really helped us to look onto a bigger picture and a better future. Your words are like the spark to our dark and have definitely enlightened us with things that would help us touch the heights of success. Thank you. Now, without any further delay, I would like to call the most enthusiastic senior I've ever come across, who's not only congenial but also hardworking. Miss Ilma Khan of BA English Honours, third year, to present a well-informed and effective presentation on the topic Importance of Speaking in the Corporate World.
Thank you so much, Navra. Afifa, will you please share my presentation on my behalf?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Importance of speaking in the corporate world. Third slide, please. What is speaking? The action of conveying information or expressing one's thoughts and feelings in a spoken language. Speaking is the delivery of language through the mouth. To speak, we create sounds using many parts of our body, such as our lungs, our vocal tract, our cords, tongue, teeth, lips, and sometimes even our nose. So, the four language skills. Please move on to the fourth slide. The four language skills. Speaking is the second of the four language skills, which are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. In our very own language, speaking is usually the second language skill that we learn. Let's grab it through baby steps. The first step towards learning a language is listening. A baby or a toddler listens to us while we speak. As the baby grows, other than making sounds of cries and laughs, he tries to speak in his own gibberish language. Gradually, he learns to speak. Once he has attained a good hold on his tongue, we start teaching him to read alphabet or 2 or 3 letter words. And after getting a good hold on his tongue, finally, we make him hold a pencil and write the letters while calling them out. That is the last step. Moving on. Afifa, please move on to the next slide. Make sure you have finished speaking before your audience has finished listening. Well said by Dorothy Surnow. Most of the times it happens that We are continuously speaking, but the listener is not even paying attention. He's just hearing you. He's just hearing. So what is the problem? Let's first learn about the importance of speaking in the corporate world. Speaking plays a vital role in the corporate world and not just in our personal lives, be it interviews, events, sales, demonstration of plans, PowerPoint presentations, just like this one, motivating your team, to boost your own self-confidence, to convey important information efficiently, to express your own thoughts in the right way, and the list just goes on. Afifa, please move on to the next slide. So, hey there. I think as we know that speaking effectively is very important and almost everybody can speak, but can they really speak well? The aspects of effective speaking. There are three main elements to effective speaking: the words you use, your voice, and the most important, the non-verbal communication, particularly your body language. Let's ask each one of us, let's ask ourselves some 5 main questions. That is, the first one, do you not like the way you sound? The second one, do you feel difficulty in finding the suitable words when you speak? The third one, do you feel a shortness of breath while speaking? Fourth one, does the presence of audience and their body language affect your speech? And the last but not the least, do you falter when you speak? If even one of the answers to those 5 questions was a yes, then please start working on these points to speak effectively. The first one is read and think before you speak so that you can develop and frame your thoughts effectively. The second one is speak in accordance with your audience, be it a mass of 200 or just even one person, be it a colleague or a boss, younger children or adults. Use of shorter sentences and simpler vocabulary so that they easily understand you. Work on your accent. Accent usually gives a unique feature to our voice, but regional or ethnic accents may hinder the audience understanding capability. So work on it, make it easier for the audience to understand you. The voice tells a lot about you, just like your appearance. So you need to work on your voice, the effect of your breath on your voice and speech. If you feel shortness of breath while speaking, try exercising your lungs so that they can increase the capability of inhaling. Adjust your volume so that you are heard. Be clear so that you are understood. Be it a mass of 200 or just one person, your volume just be enough for the listeners so that even the last row can hear you properly. Pull in some variety, humor and wits to maintain the interest of the audience so that they laugh whenever they think about you and they don't go out yawning. Maintain a good pace. Control your pitch, the emphasis as well as an inflection while speaking. Emphasize on keywords. Take a pause when needed. They hold immense power and help you with your breath too. You can take a pause on commas and full stops. Last but the most important part, the non-verbal part. The unsaid words, your body language tells a lot about you. If you're standing erect in a strict position, if you're just strict, it will tell that you're hesitant. So your body language tells a lot about what you're really thinking. So work on the balance of said and unsaid. Please move on to the 11th slide. There are always 3 speeches for every one you actually gave. The one you practiced, the one you gave, and the one you wish you gave. As well said by Dal Carnegie. So, to make the one you wish, that dreamy, powerful speech that you wanted to give, into the one you actually gave, you need to read, you need to think, and you need to develop and practice well so that you are able to give the powerful, dreamy speech you want to give. So let's conclude. Now it can be concluded that speaking is one of the most vital and competencies to possess. To gain success in your career graph, apart from motivating your team. It works as your own self motivating factor, as well as making you feel more confident and agile at the workplace. Plus, it can work wonders for your personal life as well. So, what are you waiting for? If even one of the answers to those five questions was a yes, then start working on your speaking skills. Thank you so much.
We really had a lot to learn from that. Thank you, Ilma, for laying out such an amazing and interesting presentation. It's time for introducing our honorable, prestigious, and respected chief guest, Dr. Suresh Punurangam. So, I would like to call on my incredibly talented and enthusiastic friend, Mr. Sudhir Shukla of BA English Honors third year, to enlighten us about our guest. Over to you, Sudhir.
अंग्रेजी में एक कहावत है या यूँ कहें एक मुहावरा है, एक्सपीरियंस इज द बेस्ट टीचर, यानी अनुभव एक बहुत ही उत्तम अध्यापक है। और अगर यह दोनों गुण एक ही मनुष्य में हों या एक ही मनुष्य में समाहित हों तो शायद काफ़ी प्रभावी साबित हो सकता है। With these lines, I would like to extend my warm welcome to all at the workshop on effective communication on behalf of the Amity School of Languages, Amity University, Lucknow campus. I find immense pleasure in introducing our honorable chief guest, Dr. Suresh Ponurangam. Dr. Suresh is an assistant professor at the Department of English, DG Vaishnav College, Arumbakam, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. He has been teaching English for over a decade at the undergraduate and postgraduate level. He has produced 7 PhD scholars and 8 more are under his supervision. He has published over 30 Scopus Index journals. He has been participating in national and international conferences and workshops consistently. He also conducts pronunciation workshops for various school teachers and college professors regularly. He has published 10 books on English language teaching. He is also a certified TEFL, that is, Teaching English as Foreign Language, for TEFL slash TESOL, that is, Teaching English to Speakers of Other Language. He has trained and produced 25 TEFL slash TESOL Canada. Currently, during this lockdown, he has started a YouTube channel named English with Dr. Suresh and has posted over 80 videos on English pronunciation. Now, I would like to make you familiar with two books which he has written. Number one, a handbook on International Phonetic Alphabet. Today, most of the ESL, that is, English as a second language, learners are not exposed to IP at school, though it is imperative only few stress the importance of IP. It is universally verity that intelligible pronunciation of words are requisite for feasible communication. But majority of the ESL learners are taught to pronounce words as per the spelling, which leads to mispronunciation and miscommunication. According to Cambridge and Oxford dictionaries, IPA has to be taught to learners in order to pronounce words correctly. This workbook is intended to expose the ESL learners to International Phonetic Alphabet. It will help them to master the phonetic symbols and sounds with examples. Second book is 100 Most Commonly Mispronounced Words in English. This little book intends to present the list of 100 most commonly mispronounced words. At last, sir, I feel honored to speak about you for this event. Your experience and presence will provide the audience proper guidance in English. I will now I would now request Dr. Suresh Ponarangam to enlighten the audience with precious words as we begin with the event. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.
Good morning, Dr. Suresh. I beg your pardon.
Good morning, ma'am.
I introduced you. Good morning, sir. Good morning. I really beg excuse for having taken another name. So Dr. Suresh, it's a privilege and honor to have you with us. Over to you. The platform is all yours. Everybody is eagerly awaiting to hear your words. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. It's a pleasure. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Is my voice clear?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Respected director, professors, coordinators, and the students, also the rest of the other students, whoever has joined today. A very good morning to everyone. And now let me just start very quickly because we have a little time left. So let me just start it right away. I'm just sharing my screen, just a moment. I hope my screen is shared. Is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, very good. Yes, very good. Thank you. So we're going to go talk about English language. The previous presenter, I think it was Miss Hilma. She actually enunciated the importance of English and the 4 skills, and also the importance of global communication. And it's just the same. I would rather the same. Probably I had the same topic. I misunderstood that the topic, whatever is given, is actually the one that you presented on. But obviously, the content is almost, the focus is almost the same with everything for both, whatever she has done and whatever I'm going to do. But my presentation is going to be on a different perspective. So you don't have to worry about that. So what I did in the middle of her presentation, I did change the title into English for Professional Communications. So that's a topic that I'm going to focus on. Communication, whatever the name would be for, it is up to you. But whatever we are going to do today, it's all necessary. It is all a must today. So let me just start with a question. Like usually I always begin my presentation with a question. I don't know whether everybody will be able to talk to me by unmuting, but this is the question that I have. So what is your competency level in speaking skills? Now I'm not talking about speaking, reading, and writing. There are 4 skills, but I'm specifically focusing on to the speaking skills, only the speaking skills. What is your competency level? Now, this is the approximate percentage that I have given here, but where do you stand?
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes.
Sir, your voice is cracking a bit.
Okay, just a moment. Let me just try the other way around. Audible? Am I audible? Could anybody just unmute and talk?
Yes.
Because I don't hear anybody. Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir, you're on.
Okay, great. I think it is better than the previous time. Yes, that's the question that I have. Sorry about it. Excuse me. Yes, what is your competency level in speaking skills? Probably if you're unable to unmute and talk in the middle, that's okay, but you can just ask the same question to yourself and you may assess yourself and then you may judge yourself and then tell yourself that where you stand, whether you stand like just average English or good English or excellent or professional, 100%. Where do you stand extraordinarily? At least anybody, could anybody just, where do you stand? I think we can just make this session more interactive.
Everybody, please.
Sir, I believe I stand at 80%.
80%, very good. So that means excellent. Your English should be excellent. And do you believe that whatever you speak and anyone in the world can understand your English? Okay, so that is fine. So in case if you say that good, if you say that you're in good, all right, approximately about 60%, that means you should speak good English. Good means good. That means understandable to everybody else in the whole universe. So, but if you say that average English, that means you're not able to make others understand what you're trying to say. But parts and like bits and pieces, you just break here and there, and then you go on. But in case if you say that you're not a professional communicator, I cannot. I'm so sorry about it. If you say that you're not a professional communicator, then what are the reasons? What are the reasons do you think would be which is holding me from telling that I'm a professional communicator? What is lagging in you? What are the reasons because of which you cannot say I'm a professional communicator? Now, most of them would say that they lack fluency, they lack grammar skills here and there, and sometimes they say they do not have a number of vocabulary. And that's one of the reasons because of which they cannot tell that they are a professional communicator. Professional means professional. I'm talking about global standards, not just our local standards. Global standards, competing with them with the native speakers of English. All right, and sometimes would say that pronunciation skills. They lack pronunciation skills. Because of that, they won't be able to tell that they are a professional communicator. Like some of the reasons they may say, but I have certain reasons to say that they're all fine.
Sir, we are sorry to interrupt again.
Yes,
Sir, your voice is cracking a bit.
Okay. Ma'am, is it for everybody? Is there anybody else? Is it because everything is fine? Just a moment. Open it. Yeah, I keep everything open. The net is fine. I hope it should be fine now. Is it continuously or just here and there?
So it happens sometimes in between. Otherwise, it's fine right now.
Okay. Thank you. So some of them, the reasons that I just thought would be some of the major reasons because of which they cannot like say that they are a professional communicator, but I am going to focus on in this presentation, I'm going to focus on these three parameters. If you focus and strengthen these areas, I'm sure that you can just put yourself to the international standard. Like you can go talk to anybody can talk to you. There will not be any communication gap between anybody you talk to in the whole globe. All right. For example, vocabulary. Let me just give you a little gist of what I'll be talking about. I'll be doing about with this vocabulary. Look about the vocabulary. We always use vocabulary. We understand. Rather, we are told, we were taught at school from a different perspective. What we do, we learn a word, one meaning. That is it. We go for, if we want to get the meaning of another, then we go learn another word, and then another word, another meaning, another word. Like that, just imagine there are almost like 170,000 words in the Oxford English Dictionary. But if that is the case, in order to communicate all the meanings, or if you really want to mean all the meanings, then you should be learning all the 170,000 words approximately. Now, if that is the case, then we won't be able to get to the perfection at all. So we usually say that some of the students say that, no, I lack vocabulary, sir. Sometimes I learn it, I forget it, and so I do not have many words in my memory. So I get stuck here and there whenever I talk. That's what they say. But I'm just going to give you a little idea about what we really have to do in order to be very strong with this vocabulary. And the second point is the pronunciation. There are so many words in the English language that are not pronounced correctly. In your local, when you talk to your family members, relatives, or in your class, that's all fine because you're in your local area. When you talk to anybody, because you're all going to become professionals, you're going to get a job after completing a degree, and I'm sure that every company, that every top-notch company that we name it, they have like branches all over the country, all over the world. So it's been globalized rather. Any IT company you talk about, all the top-notch industry, all have branches all over the world. So that means when you get into the job, the primary job of any job will be communication. You may be a software professional, or you may be any other professional you are, but the primary thing that you need to already possess is your communication skills. But everything is about communication, whatever the job you do. Major would be your verbal communication. The second would be your written communication. You may have to write mails, you may have to write some letters, you may have to send some messages, or you may have to reply to some of the mails that clients send. Every business involves clients and the company. You represent the company. So you're going to be communicating with the clients. So if it is going to be written, that's fine. You may even check with your friends, your neighbor, your colleagues. You get some idea and then you write everything properly, and then you draft a mail or you reply the mail, everything fine, no problem with that. But when it comes to your verbal communication, that's going to be a little challenging, because the way how we pronounce English words, it is suitable to us, within us, but when it comes to global standard, or with the people from the other country, they're going to be a little problem. We're going to be facing each other. Like, excuse me, like I would say that almost we always understand that English words are pronounced based on the spelling, but then not all the time. Maybe there are about approximately 60% of the words are pronounced exactly the same way how it is spelled, but the remaining 40% of the words are not pronounced as per the spelling. They are pronounced based on the phonetic alphabet. I believe that everybody, most of you, whoever is in this presentation, are all from English background, so you know what is phonetic alphabet. Every words are pronounced based on the phonetic symbol. I'm sure that you would have seen in the dictionary where next to the word in bracket you will find some symbols, and those symbols are called IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. So those are, we have 26 alphabet, but we have 44 sounds. Every sound is represented by a certain unique sound, and those all put together, that's what you would find in the dictionary next to the word. Those are like a formula, just like the mathematics. You always go with a sum or calculation based on a particular formula. A similar way, every word must be pronounced based on the formula. The formula is the phonetic alphabet, which you would find next to the word in bracket. That's the formula. That's the one that you need to pronounce words based on, not the spelling at all, completely. For example, some of the words that I would like to highlight, where we say that receipt, for the word bill, say receipt, sometimes we'll say receipt or whatever, but then the perfect way should be receipt, receipt. But this is how we learn. Most of us would have learned it, receipt, as per the spelling in our country. But when you talk to somebody in the other country, even in India, there are even younger generation. Maybe you're used to the kind of English what we speak, but the younger generation, the current generation, I'm talking about the students who are all at the kindergarten school, they start learning much polished, much better than what we had. So when you talk to them, you would feel that they speak much better English than you. You would even have a little embarrassing situation if you even talk to small kids like first standard or second standard, they speak amazing English because they are up to date. They get to learn the current English. Whatever you have learned, that is obsolete because the language gets changed day by day. So just imagine if you're at college, that means you learned English when you're, kindergarten, I'm talking about like first standard or second standard. Almost 20 years back, you started learning the basic of English. Just imagine in the last 20 years, how much have changed. Look at the current students, whoever is studying first and second standard. They're just up to date, most of them. Some of the international schools, there are so many international schools that are booming here in India. So just imagine, compare yourself with that kind of English, the kind of English that the kids speak at school. That you may not even put yourself with the international standard, but I'm just asking you to just check, or maybe you can just visualize how your level would be with that. So they would start pronouncing English words appropriately, I believe, most of them. I've seen also. But of course, there are some words they do mispronounce, but not comparatively. They're much better than us. So the words like receipt, and we even say that India is a democratic country. But if you say democratic, when you talk to somebody who has learned the pronunciation of the word in the right way, and if you use the word democratic, and he will be scratching his head, what this guy is talking about. Is it a word that I don't know it? Or is it the word that he is mispronouncing? He'll be scratching his head, and then he will at least take a few seconds to guess and understand based on the context what exactly the word that you're referring to. So obviously then he will understand. I mean, a couple of seconds it takes for him to understand. That is called the communication gap. That happens. That is very common with people around. When we talk to with the other people in the other countries. So it should be India is not a democratic country. It should be India is a democratic. Look at that, democratic, democratic. Look, sounds like two different words. I don't know. It's the same word, but it's just that we do not pronounce the word correctly. And there are like we say Wednesday. Now, the right way should be Wednesday. There's only one standard way to pronounce the word. There are no various standards for one particular language to pronounce English, pronounce words of that language in general. It is the same case with the English language as well. Every word, sometimes even the word pronunciation, that is like a habit of using the word pronounce. Of course, when you say the basic form of the word, form, it is pronounced. But when you say the noun form, it should be pronunciation. Even if you look at the spelling, but as if there is OU, like PRONOUN. They tend to pronounce like that. Pronunciation. It should be pronunciation. Pronunciation. There are so many words like restaurant. It should be restaurant. The letter AU in the middle are silent because in an English language there are so many silent letters. If you just calculate approximately 3 to 4 words out of 10 words have got silent letters in them. You mean even if just 10 words, I will definitely find silent letters. 4 of them. So the silent letters are a lot more words which you don't have. So those things also we'll be talking about. I don't know how much time we have. I don't know how much I'll be able to cover in that, but I will just give a little highlight on that. So that pronunciation we'll be talking about. And the other area that I'll be talking about will be voice modulation. And even Ilma, I think, in her presentation, she was talking about voice modulation and body language, things like that. But here I'm going to focus on this voice modulation. So what is that voice modulation? Now, what we really do is we speak English just like a machine most of the time. We do not even add any life into it. Just imagine, you need to instill some beauty into it. Just imagine if you are without a makeup. It's not to offend anybody. Please don't take it offensive. If anybody, any of us, if we do not put some makeup, or if we do not make it up, then it won't get any attraction at all. anything for that matter when it comes to like humans or especially girls or women, whatever you call it, or any look at even your building. You need to put some life in it. Life, I mean the attraction. How do you do when it comes to the building? You paint it with a beautiful color, and then you put some design in. So when you look at it, it looks attractive. A similar way, we do makeup every day, so we look beautiful. Not just a beautiful look alone. It's just you yourself feel very confident, and then you feel very happy about yourself when you just put a makeup, and you always feel more comfortable, much comfortable with your makeup. So similar way, even with the language, you need to have some makeup with that. Makeup, I mean, you have to instill some beauty in it. The beauty, I mean, the voice modulation. I mean, ups and downs of tonality. You need to instill some emotion to the words and phrases that you say as well. So that is what voice modulation. For example, say that, what is your name? What is your name? Look at that, it's flat, just like a machine. If you program a machine, it will only ask you, what is your name? Where are you coming from? That's just like the monotonous tone, just a flat tone. That's not the way. When you ask, hey, what's your name? Look at that, there is some emotion. There are some enthusiastic emotion instilled into this phrase. And then when you ask, hey, what is your name? Look at that, it's like, that's the way human must be talking. You must start loving the language. If you do not love the language, just imagine, there's a girl. The girl is asking the boy, hey, they're like lovers, okay? They love each other and they plan to marry each other. But even then, the girl wants to ask the boy, hey, do you want to marry me for me as me, or for me as a personality, or do you want to marry me for my wealth? But if the boy says that I would like to marry you for wealth, then it's not going to work out there. I'm sure that the girl would never agree to it. But if the boy say that I would like to marry you just with your personality because I love you, because that's the permanent thing. And that's the same way. You need to love the language, only then you will get the emotion. If you ask, why do you want to learn? If I ask the same question to everybody, why do you learn the language? They would say that, oh, I learned the language. I would like to learn the language. I would like to develop the language so that I will get a job, so that I can do well in my career, and so that I would even at least pass the interview, so that everybody will look at me with respect, and so that wherever I go, I can just stand tall. They will have so many interpretation, but nobody would say that. Very rare, I would say, oh no, I love the language, so I would like to go deep into it. I would like to master the language because I love it. And anything you do with love, I'm sure that you will perfect it very easily. And we still have, we means not all of you, I'm talking about the people who always say that I lack communication skills. They still keep saying like this, and then will be saying like this because they don't love the language. They need to love the language, only then they would get the language, just like the girl, okay? If they don't love the language, nothing will become perfect. So that means voice modulation. You will only get the voice modulation only if you love the language. That's what we three like what I'm going to do with this presentation. I'm sure that you will have a lot of doubts. You'll have a lot of questions to ask. I would want you to note down everything because we've got plenty of time at the end of the session for questioning and answering. But if you don't listen, I mean, if you don't hear anything, if there is any breakup with the voice or line, you may let me know. Otherwise, please note down all the questions. Let's start with the vocabulary. Now, usually what we do, as I mentioned in the beginning, like when it comes to vocabulary, these are the major categories: noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. So we already know that. And like I mentioned earlier, if we really want to get one meaning, we learn a word. And then if we want to get another meaning, we learn another word. So if that is the case, you need to, if you want to convey or if you want to express 100 or 1,000 meanings, then you need to learn 1,000 different words. So if that is the case, if you want to express like about 10,000 thoughts, you need to learn 10,000 thoughts, different 10,000 words. But just imagine, can you remember all those words? Do you think that you are capable of remembering all those words, unless you're an extraordinary brainy person or something? Therefore, a person that's not an easy one. It's a very challenging thing to remember 10,000 words in their fingertips. Whenever they want, it just comes in like that out of their mouth. No, that's not easy. But that's a hard way, I would say, that if you really want to go learn the language that way, you just learn it the hard way. You mug it up, you practice a lot, and then you go on. But that's not the way we're going to just do it. And that is not the way which will make you a professional speaker. A professional speaker will be someone who will use one particular word with a multiple meaning. Like English words are like the diamonds. So diamonds has got different perspective, different sides. Similar way, every one word multiple meanings. Just imagine. Let me just tell you an example. There's a word called get, G-E-T. I'm just going to give you a little demonstration about how broader, how extensively we can use this word to give a multiple meanings in that. Like this: I get up in the morning, I get to the bathroom, I get dressed, I get bath, I get out of the bathroom, I get dressed, I get breakfast, I get ready, I get out of the house, I get my bike, I get to my office, I get all my works done, I get my lunch in the afternoon, I get the remaining works done in the afternoon, and then I get out of the office at 5 o'clock in the evening. I get to the parking area, I get to the, I get my bike back, and then I get back home, and then I get my bike parked to the parking area at home, at the back of my house, and then I get into my house, I get some rest, I get a coffee, and then I get my dinner, and then I get to bed, I get to sleep, I get dreams. Just imagine, every word that I use, get, meant different meaning. If you connect one word with the other, there's no connection at all. For example, starting from the first word, get up, get here, I meant wake up. And the last word, I get to sleep. And then here, I get to sleep means I go sleeping. So that, look at the word difference, go and wake. Where is the connection between wake and go? Completely different. There's no connection at all. But these two words are connected with one word. That's the word get. So that's the way every word is manipulated. You need to learn the art of manipulating the existing word to give a number of meaning. But how is that? Let's just see it. This is something basic. We already know that. Look, there's a word called book. The moment we hear the word book, mind will automatically think of that image, book. Yes, it is the book. But the same word can be manipulated and can be used as with a different meaning, with a different functionality. For example, I bought a book. That's a noun. If you say book a ticket, the same word, the same pronunciation, a different meaning. That's a verb form. Book a ticket. Similarly, if you really want to get the word manipulated to give a different meaning as an adjective, use the word, look at that, I'm going to a book bank. I'm going to a book bank. So likewise, you need to learn, you need to use, for example, if you know 1,000 words, that's more than enough. Use that, learn the art of manipulating the word or multiplying the meaning of those 1,000 words. And there are even ways we always use noun only for to mean noun, but every noun can be used as a verb as well. Just imagine, there's a calendar, there's a word calendar, we know that. The moment we say or somebody talks about the word calendar, the image comes to our mind, flashing, oh, that's the calendar. If you see it, of course you see it. If you don't see it, the image comes to flashes in your mind, in your memory. Oh, it's a calendar. But have you ever used the word in a different perspective to give a different meaning with the word calendar? Just imagine, I'm going to use the word as a verb. Calendar the day, calendar your schedules. What is meaning? You're using the word as a verb. Calendar your schedules. What do you usually say? And moreover, if you say it this way, you can produce a number of words. Just imagine, I'm going to look at that. Pen. There's a word called pen. I'm going to say pen. There's a pen that flashes in our memory. We always use the word pen. Or imagine a verb. Go pen your name. In a verb form. This is it. Pen your name. Pen the notes. Pen the points. Similarly, pen, pencil, marker, whatever you want to use that word. And pen the thoughts. Pen your thoughts. What do you mean? Pen your thoughts. Have you ever used this kind of a phrase? Now that's what I'm talking about. You have to use the word, well, you have to multiply it. Use a different form. You can use all the words, all the noun words with the verb form. For example, the word door. We always use the word door only to mean the door, the physical door that we use to lock our house. Door. So door means you have to understand that door means something that blocks, that protects, that hides. That's the way you have to understand the gist of the word. Door means not just a physical door, only the one that you see. Door means anything that hides, that protects something. That is a door. Similarly, wall. If you just keep on, if you talk to somebody, you just keep on talking unnecessary things, and then you say, "I'm going to just keep on talking like this. I'm going to door it. I'm going to wall it. I'm going to wall it, meaning I'm going to protect it. I'm going to block it. I'm not going to let any of the words that you're going to say into my ears at all. I'm going to block it." So I use the word, I'm going to wall it. I'm going to wall my ears. You can say I'm going to wall my. I'm going to door my ears. That means you're going to block it. So that's the way you can. That's the way you can use it. There are even words like poem. We always use the word poem to mean the noun form. Just use the word in a different way. Form. I'm going to poem my thoughts. Look at that. I'm going to poem my thoughts. Usually we say I'm going to write a poem. Whatever comes in my thoughts or my vision, whatever. So it's a long sentence. You put it in a very short way. I'm going to poem my thoughts. I'm going to poem my ideas. I'm going to poem my visions, whatever you call it, anything, okay? Anything you name it, you say, I'm going to laptop, contact, like contact, to save your number in my phone. Look at that long sentence. Okay, in my phone. Look at that. I'm going to use the word phone in a verb form. I'm going to phone your contact. Look at that. I'm going to phone your contact, meaning I'm going to type your name in my phone and then save it in my contact book or whatever. You say it. I'm going to phone your contact. Or, look at that. I'm going to phone your number. They write your name on the board in a different form, a verb form. Bold your name. You're using the word bold. We would have never bothered to use the word in a verb form. But look at that. Bold your name. Just 3 words. That's how you have to multiply all the nouns. If you multiply all the nouns, that's it. If you know 1,000 nouns, you just multiply it in a different perspective. You can even just bring out 5,000 or 10,000 different definitions or different perspective with the meaning. If you just have 100, like 1,000 nouns. I look at the verb as well. Even we always understand the verb only as it is. We can even use the verb in a different perspective. Is, for example, sing. We always sing. Sing means it's a verb, you know that. If somebody sings only, we use the word sing. Otherwise, we don't use the word singing at all. Singing means a noise that is generated, a pleasant. Sometimes it is unpleasant. You can mean whatever you want. It's all up to you, whatever you want to mean. So anything, any voice that is made with the tone, with the sound, is called the singing. Okay. If somebody else is shouting, somebody says, "Hey, what's going on? Who is singing?" You can even ask, "Who is singing?" in a humorous way. Who is singing? That means who is shouting. Instead of using the word shouting, because shouting is a negative word. You may feel that I don't want to use negative words. I only want to use positive words. You say, "Hey, who is singing?" That's very nice. Look at that. Use the word very nice. Everybody will understand what you mean. But actually, you mean the other way around. So that's the way you have to manipulate all the words. All the words. And also, use the verb, understand the gist of the exact formula of the verb. Once you know that, then you'll be able to multiply it in a different perspective. For example, any verb, just say, any verb you say, stand. So we always use, the moment we hear about the word stand, we always associate the word stand with human or any animal or trees. That is it, nothing else. We don't even with the trees, with the word stand, or it's a standing tree. But systematic, you understand the gist of it. Anything, the formula of the word stand, anything that is above the ground, standing, or straight from ground towards up is called standing or stand. You can say that somebody's asking, "Hey, how are your studies?" You can say, "Oh yeah, I stand." What does it mean? I stand. It means that I develop, or I am always up. I'm developing, or I'm already developing, or I'm students. You might even say, "Oh, I stand. I stand." You can say, if you say, no, I just simply sit. That means you don't develop, you don't grow at all. So that's the way you can say. So likewise, you have to multiply the existing word with the verb form, and the verb, not just one verb, one meaning, multiply. Understand that just the formula of the exact gist, the formula of the word and the meaning, and then try to multiply it. If you do that, you can even use one word into like 20 different perspective, meaning, or at least 10 perspective. That way you just do it. For example, scratch, there's a word called scratch. If you feel itchy in your head, you use your fingers and then you scratch it. That's a verb. So scratch means, we always associate the word scratch, scratching your head, sometimes scratching your skin. You feel itchy, you scratch it. That is it. Otherwise, we don't even use the word in a different perspective at all. Scratch means anything that just starts moving with another object or another place up and down, either forcefully or slightly, or maybe it is just making some disturbance, you can say, or you can say that it is damaging, or you can even say that it's touching, or it is getting along, whatever you can say, a similar way. For example, somebody is just coming and disturbing you, say, "Hey, don't scratch me." What is the meaning? Look at that. Somebody comes and say something, and then you feel very angry, and then you say, "Please," we usually say, "Please don't disturb me. Get out of my sight," we say. But we can use the other way. "Don't scratch me. Don't scratch me." Now you can say that, "Hey, don't scratch my friend's reputation." What is the meaning? Don't scratch my friend's reputation. That means don't damage my friend's reputation. So that means scratching means a negative connotation. You use that word, not in a positive connotation. So whatever the perspective you want to use it, disturbing, spoiling, damaging, and like touching, or wasting, or whatever, the synonyms, whatever you put, all those areas, you can use the word, this word. And there's even a word I always use it, hiccup. We always use the word hiccup to mean, to understand the one that we get, hiccup. Like the physical one that we get at times, all right? We always say, we only use that word only rarely. For example, you get hiccups like once in a month or twice in a month. That is it. That word will be sleeping in your memory, or in your memory, in your mind. You don't even use the word at all, and it gets rusted. Even call it. Now, come on, that word is a beautiful word. You can use it in so many contexts. So hiccups, man, just imagine. That's the verb form. Use the word in a verb form. Hiccup is a noun, but think of the verb form. Hiccup means the air from the lungs comes through your mouth, and here at your neck or front part of the neck, just about you can call it as an Adam's apple, that area, a vocal cord, vocal tract, uvula, whatever you call it, that area, it just gets some trouble. Like it gets blocked and released fraction of a second. The air gets blocked, released, blocked, released. So that means it is not free. You can mean the meaning of the word hiccup to mean negative, not free, not friendly, not smooth, not straight. There's a problem. There's a hassle. There's a huddle. You can say that. For example, so many people say that, oh, I have a lot of problems in my life. You can use the word, I have a lot of hiccups in my life. So I try to send a mail with the attachment that it's bounced. I think there is a hiccup with the email address. I think I typed it wrong. So hiccup meaning problem, trouble, anything, whatever you call it, with the synonymous with that meaning. Okay, and then you talk to your friend. All of a sudden, you don't talk to your friend, and the other friend comes and asks, "Hey, what happened? You guys always be together, but all of a sudden you go this way, the guy goes that way. What happened to you?" You can say, "No, we have a hiccup," meaning we're not talking time. We ran into some kind of a problem, so we still don't talk to each other. You can say. So you say that you ride a car, and then all of a sudden the car gets stopped, and then someone asks, "Hey, what happened? Why are you standing here?" No, I think my car is facing some hiccup. That's why it's not moving. Anything. So that is how you should be multiplying every verb and the noun as well. If you do this way, that is a smart way, and then it'll be very simple. If you use the noun into verb form, that's going to be very easy. You're using a less number of words in a sentence, and people will understand you very easily. And you don't have to get stuck. You don't have to start searching for words from memory. Just use the existing word. Whatever the words you know already, that's more than enough. Just multiply. Learn the art of multiplying the word. Use the different functionality of the word. Try to spend some time. You cannot get everything easily. You have to dedicate some time. Like, if you really want to be a good communicator, you need to spend some time every day to develop your communication skills. Whatever you lack, if you feel that you only have 10 words, just start spending some time, like 10 minutes, start thinking how we can manipulate the existing word with a different meaning, different perspective. So that's what you should be doing. If you do it that way, I'm sure that you will have a lot of vocabulary. Look at that. There's a word called project. That's we can use the word in two perspectives. You say project, that is a noun. You know that college project, something, subject project, whatever you call that. And if you use it as a verb form, you have to pronounce that word as project. Project means to show something. Projector, you know that there's a electronic material, projector. Something that shows. Project means anything that shows, exposes, gives the people project points, projecting experiences. I am projecting my learnings. Or you say, one is projecting unfriendliness. Instead of meaning, it's not, you can say that unfriendly feelings or unfriendly exposition or something like that. And the webinar projects about English language. All of you project interest towards the language. So likewise, you have to multiply. Look at the word verb form and the noun form. If you do that, I'm sure that you don't have to learn any new word unless it is needed. Existing word, multiply, you will sound much better. Okay, great. And the second area that we're going to go into is the pronunciation. Like I said, there are so many English words that are mispronounced similarly. The letters also sometimes mispronounced. We say that we understand that the letter R is pronounced all the time. No, it's not pronounced all the time. Sometimes it is pronounced, sometimes it is silent. But how? There's an easy way to remember that. We know what are vowels. Even the very word vowels, we say vowels sometimes, vowels. But that's not the way it should be pronounced. It should be vowels, not vowels. It should be vowels, vowels, vowels. So that's how we need to say it. Simple to remember. Next to the letter R, if you find vowels, then the letter R is pronounced. But next to the letter R, if you have a consonant, then it is always silent, 100%. It's very easy. You just look at that. Great or grateful, because next to the letter R you have to pronounce it. Simple way you remember. You have to pronounce the letter R. If you don't find vowels, simple. And look at the word, the second one, silent ones. Word university. Sometimes you say university. Park, market, door, and sometimes any word ends with the letter R, individual words, it is always silent. You might even heard some students talking about sar, pronouncing the letter R with the word sar, car, marker, letter, better, later. Now all the letters are silent in the word. The door, floor, sir, car, you just have to silence the letter R. Marker, both the letter R's are silent in the word. Letter, because first, any word ends in letter R, it is always silent, except in a sentence there are exceptions that we will be talking about also. And if the letter R is followed by a consonant, it is always silent. Remember that. Even if it is going to be a pronounced R, sometimes we say that the tip of the tongue, if it touches somewhere, when you pronounce the letter R, if you touch the tip of the tongue anywhere inside the mouth, then it starts giving the sound of rrr, like brother, sister, university, park, market, word, bright, great. Look at that. That's the one sound that is spoiling the beauty of our English. But if you could tell this one particular sound, I'm sure that it will sound much better than what you sound now. How? It's simple. If it is a silenced R, just silence it completely. If it is a pronounced R, make sure that the tip of the tongue, your tip of the tongue, does not touch anywhere inside your mouth. If it touches, then you feel the sound of like rrr, brother, letter, like that. Okay? Make sure that the tip must not touch anywhere inside your mouth when you pronounce the letter, or if it is a pronounced R, like this, brother. I don't say brother, brother, bright, great. I don't say great, it should be great, bright, brother. So that's how you should be pronouncing the word. Make sure that the tip does not touch anywhere. If you do that, I'm sure that you will sound much better. But the American, this is actually completely British. But the Americans have got a different style. They always pronounce the letter R, but unlike us, they pronounce the letter. They replace the sound of with the letter R. Ra, ri, ro, rai, ray, like that, depending upon the word. So they would say brother, bright, grateful, word, university, perk, park, market, and they would say door, floor, sir, car, marker, letter, better, later, matter, better. And sometimes the Americans will pronounce the T like the D. I'm sure that you might even use sometimes, like, I got it. But it should be I got it. But how come the T is pronounced like D? Have you ever wondered? That is American style, but how to identify that? Simple. If you find the letter T in between the vowels, the T will be pronounced like D by the Americans. So look at the word electricity. They would say electricity, not like electricity. We say electricity. The Britishers will say electricity, but the Americans say electricity. Look at that, electricity, softer stylistically, electricity, because the ending is a Y. The Y has got two functionality. If you find the Y in the beginning, it is a consonant. But if you find the Y at the end, it is a vowel. That's why the letter Y is called a semi-vowel, because at the end it gives a vowel sound. We don't say try. We don't say tree. We only say try. The letter Y gives the vowel sound. So word simple, you remember. Beginning Y, consonant. Ending Y, vowels. Remember that. That's why it is electricity. The T is in between the vowels. Electricity. Look at the word letter. And letter, better, later, matter, batter. There is again another thing that you got to remember. Like in English language, if you find two consonant letters together, one of them will always be silent. Look at all the T's, two T's together, one of them will be silent. So if it is silent, there's only one T, and that one T is in between the vowels. So that T will be pronounced like a D by the Americans. That's why they say letter, better, later, matter, batter, like that. Okay, so these are some of the very basic ones, but let me also show you some of the words commonly mispronounced words. I've also sent some of the um, handouts as well. You may just make use of it as well. And some of the other area that would be easy for you. Look at this. This is the phonetic alphabet. I'm sure you are already familiar with. Or if you aren't, then you may just you might have seen, I'm sure, with any of the dictionaries. If you open any dictionary, you will find these symbols. Like short vowels, long vowels, diphthongs. We're not going to go into this one. We're going to go with the word. Look at this. All these words we say, any words ending with the C-A-L-L-Y, we say like this: critically, medically, military, momentary, solitary. No. All these words, the letter A's are silent. Because any word ending with a C-A-L-L-Y, the A is always silent. So you have to say like this: clinically, logically, musically, numerically, tragically, secondary, not secondary, to be secondary, romantically, illogically, logically, so like that. So you can just remember. These are very easy to remember. You may just take a look at that yourself. I've already sent it. I'm sure that the coordinators will be forwarding this to you. And look at the second part. Since we have least time, I'm just rushing a bit because it's easy. You can remember that. And look at these words. All these beginning words, we always like this. First word should be always like this. Abacus. But if you're a person who pronounces the word like abacus, you have to change a little bit. It should be abacus. Look at that, abacus. We say abdicate, abdomen, object, adequate. No, the first sound alone, we have to make a little modification. It should be not it should be it should be abacus. Abbey, not obey. Abdicate, abdomen, abject, appetite, advert, not advertisement. It should be advert, not advert, advert, adversary, no, adversary. And then analyze, we say you have to analyze something. No, it should be analyze. So little adjustment you have to make with the first sound. Look at that. This A, look at all these words contain these A sound. We always say like A. And there's another sound, it's a diphthong, two sound. One, we are missing it. So it should be age, same, state, aim, date, face, brain. So this is another area that we need to focus on. We always say like name. It should be name, aim, one sound from the word we miss out. We have to include it. And look at this one. Look at all these words. Only the beginning letter E alone. All these letters, almost like 150 words I've given here, about 2 pages. Only the first sound of these list of words, we always say with the A sound. A as in like this, like exam. We say exam. Exit, emit, excuse me, effect, edition, elite or elite, whatever. Egyptian. No, only the first sound. Instead of A, it should be E, as in India. That's the one you have to apply in the beginning. I'm sure it is easy. You understand that it should be exam, not exam. It should be exam. Look at that. Emotion and electron, electrical. E, not A. It should be elect, election, and enable, not enable. Eject, embarrass, enclose, and existence, encounter. Look at that. Excuse, executive, exemplary, exist, expose, extremely. So that's little modification you have to make. Every sound matters a lot in the English language. If you flip one sound, the meaning gets changed and people get to understand it's a different word. Just imagine in your name, if you just flip one particular sound and then start pronouncing it, it's just flipping it like making the long sound to short sound, the short sound to long sound, adding an extra sound or removing the existing sound. Do any one modification, your name will sound awkward. You would never want that to happen. The similar way with the English language. Again, there's another sound that we always don't use it correctly. It should be O, not O. We say over, alone, close, bow, arrow. But we are missing another. It's a diphthong. We are missing the other sound. Diphthong is a combination of two vowel sounds. It should be alone, bow, so, go, bow, and road, open, only, slow, like that. And so this is a list of words where the letter R is pronounced. You can just remember that easy. And the other part is that any word ends with EGE or AGE ending, we always apply the long sound at the end. It should be the short sound. It should be, we say like average, damage, sausage, message. No, it should be message, average, age, not age, not the long sound. It should be the short sound. Age, engage, lineage, college, bandage, message, baggage, wastage, manage, verbage, not verbiage. It should be verbage, verbage. So that's how we have to pronounce it. And these are some of the words where words ending with C-I-A-L should be pronounced like the word shall. Just like, shall I come in? Shall I go? Shall I do this? Shall I do that? That's the sound you have to apply like this. So, shall, not social, racial, facial, no. Shall, just like the word shall, the ending alone. Social, racial, financial, crucial, official, judicial, like that. And this is another ending where instead of saying meant, it should be month. Just imagine M-A. So that's how we have to apply with all the word ending with M-E-N-T. We usually say like meant, moment, payment, no meant. It should be month. A sound, not a sound. And this is another ending where words ending with ABLE, we say notable, suitable, editable, quotable. No, it should be table, able, not a. It should be notable, suitable, editable, quotable, rentable. That's how we have to say. And another one is words ending with ATIVE. We always say like representative, communicative, interrogative, authoritative, quantitative, qualitative. We say not tative, it should be shut down, tative. This representative, communicative, interrogative, authoritative, argumentative. The letter R is silent. Quantitative, qualitative, consultative, like that. That's how we have to pronounce it. Okay, those are like self-explanatory. You can just go on. Look at that. This is another area where the letter ED, we say like askede, kickede, lickede, lookede, talkede. Just because the spelling is ED at the end, we just go with that. But that's not the way. The ED must be pronounced with the T sound. Only the words that are given here, not all the words. There are different ways. And probably if we ever get in future, we may go a little more deeper into it. It should be asked, checked. You have to give the T sound at the end, not the D sound. Looked, talked, thanked, walked, noticed, like that. And similarly, these endings should be id, like accepted, not accepted. Cheated, no, it should be cheated, like that. Easy one, you can just go through and understand that. Look at that, all these words contain letter yes. And we always give the yes sound, but absolutely no. We have to give the Z sound for all these yeses. Look at that. Friends, crabs, falls. We have to give the Z sound at the end of all these words. Bags. If you say yes sound, that is wrong. Kings, no kings, it should be kings with a Z sound. She sings would be the Z sound, not the S sound. We say wears, she wears, Z sound they have to give. She wears a nice dress, like that. Legs, deals, kills, cars. You have to get the Z sound for the S. That's how English is. You have to be a little bit cautious about every sound that matters. I'm talking about professional communication. It's not for, it's up to you whether you would like to go with the ordinary way to pronounce English words or ordinary communication. It's about the professional communication. If you want to go communicate professionally, then you need to bother about everything. And these all included with the professional communication because every sound matters a lot. If you really want to sound professional, you know the meaning, how important the word professional is in your career. I'm a professional. I speak professional English. That adds more value. I only speak average English. Now, anywhere you go, the first and foremost qualification that they expect from you is the way how better you speak English. Even if you speak like American, nobody's going to say you speak like American. We're not going to take you. No, they will only give you the first preference to you, not anybody else. The better the English, better the opportunities. That I would say. Look at there some of the words that we mispronounce. Let me just highlight some of the words like logistics. You have to pronounce the word as logistics. Reconciliation, representative, restaurant, and statistics, not statistics, it be statistics. This is SOD. The W as well as the letter R are silent. So the remaining is SOD. You have to pronounce it like that. SOD. And then look at that. Binoculars with the Z at the end. Binocular, biscuit, not biscuit, to biscuit. And then boutique with a long sound. We usually say like boutique. It should be boutique. Broccoli, the vegetable. And then cabbage, certain, because the letter R as well as the letter I are silent. The remaining you have to go with certain. It should be chicken, not chicken. Just imagine that instead of the letter E, there's an I. Then go with the remaining pronunciation, spelling. Chicken. Circuit. Circuit, the letter U as well as the letter R are silent with that word. And then competitor, not competitor. Competitor, no colleague, not colleague. It should be colleague. If you go with the American way, it is colleague, long sound. Or if you go with the British way, it's colleague. O, there's always a difference between the British as well as the American with that sound. O, wherever they say O, these guys would say, Americans would say long sound. Colleague, colleague, like that. And then this is the word. We say deluxe. No, it should be the short sound. Deluxe. And then democratic, we talked about. And then demonstrate. That's what most of us say. It should be demonstrate, not demonstrate. They should be develop, not develop. And then onion, not onion, not onion. It should be onion, onion. And then look at this word, question. There's already a word called quest, like searching something, quest. And then the physical part, the facial part of us, chin. So put this word together, question. Together you pronounce it. That's the exact pronunciation for this word. Question. Like I said, we already say the word correctly with the word quest. And then the next word, chin. Put together, these two words together, pronounce it. That's the pronunciation of this word, question. Question. So that is how we have to pronounce it. And then the last thing, we're just going to take up another 5 minutes maximum, and then we're done with that. We'll go to the question and answer session. For the voice modulation I was talking about, what we do, there are so many contracted forms with English language. We always say, I will come tomorrow. If you say, I will come tomorrow, you're not a professional speaker, because a professional speaker will always use the contracted form and use it appropriately. They always are like, I'll come tomorrow. You don't have to split it separately like, I will, because it is a contracted form. If you really want to add, this is what instilling beauty into phrases and sentences, not I will come tomorrow, unless you want to highlight it. You're in a normal conversation, you say I'll come tomorrow. And the negative form, I won't. Look at that, I will not come tomorrow. You say, look at the easy way, or the professional way, and the normal way, or the beautiful way. I won't do that. You don't usually say like, I will not do that. I will not do that. That is just the ordinary way of telling a sentence. There's nothing wrong. It is correct. But then if you want to add beauty into it, you say, I won't do that. Look at that. I won't do that. I won't do that. And the T is also silenced by the Americans as well. If there is an NT combination, they always silence the T. The Americans. Even the Britishers won't silence it, but then some of the Britishers slowly, they started following the movie. Look at the number of movies that are coming out from British, will be least. You always remember like some very least number of series, like Harry Potter series movies, and then the Johnny English. I'm sure you would have watched that movie, Johnny English, and a very specific movies only from British, but majority of the movies are from Hollywood. Hollywood movies influence not only the non-English people, also the English people, including the British. They even slowly started focusing or changing towards the American style as well, without their knowledge. So if you go by the American way, the T is always silent, because the NT together, T is always silent. You remember that? They would say 20, plenty, international. Look at that, all these words, NT together, you will find in the middle or anywhere in the beginning or at the end. But if you find N and T letters together, the T is always silenced by the Americans. So I won't do that. I can't do that. She can't do that. If we start telling I could not, I didn't do that, we say, look at that contracted form. We say, I did that in British way, I didn't. Look at that, even the British say, didn't, I didn't do that. So that's the way they say. She will go to the question and answer session. Look at that. This is the beauty of English, where you don't always say, I am a student. You say, I'm a student. Don't say, I am a student. I am studying there. I am working there. I am going there. I am, if you say, that's not the professional way. The professional way, wherever you find the opportunity to contract words together, they always put it together and then you pronounce it, not separately, like this. Either you can say I'm or simply without the I in the middle. Like, I'm a student. I'm going there. I'm coming there. I'm moving this. I'm talking to you, like that. Similarly, the next one, I have, if you start pronouncing phrases like, I have done that, I have written that, like that, then that's not the way professional speakers speak. They say, I've done that, I finished it, I've got to go there, I've got to do that, like that. Similarly, I will, so I'll do that, I'll come tomorrow, I'll talk to him tomorrow, I will phone him tomorrow, I will give you that tomorrow, I'll send it tomorrow, like that. Similarly, you are a student. If we say you are a student, no, that's not the professional way. Professional speakers always say, you're a student, you're a brilliant student, and you're an amazing student, and you're going to come with me. You're going to come with me. Similarly, you have to do that, and you have to come there, like that, because these are all contracted forms. Similarly, you will have to come tomorrow, we usually say, but look at that, contracted form. You'll have to come tomorrow. You'll. Look at that, you'll. You don't just say you will. You say you'll come tomorrow. You'll have to do that. Similarly, we are working on this. You say we are working on this. We have to do that. No, we have to do that. And similarly, look at that. I'm just rushing through a little bit. And they will. Now they'll come tomorrow. They'll do it. And similarly, he, she, whatever the other pronouns you use, will come tomorrow. He'll come tomorrow. Not he will come tomorrow. He'll come tomorrow. See, absolutely nothing wrong. I'm only talking about adding beauty into your English. I'm not saying whatever you're saying already is wrong. It is all fine. I'm only talking about professional communication, adding beauty into it, and modulating your communication skills. That's what. Please do not get the wrong end of the stick. Okay. So he is will be his. He's a student. You have to get the Z sound here. and she will become she'll. It will become it'll come. It'll rain tomorrow. It would become it'd. It has becomes it's like that. And similarly, these are the negatives that I was talking about. Or not. We usually say like aren't, can't, couldn't, won't, or wouldn't, doesn't, don't, didn't, hadn't, haven't. Look at that. If you're going to go with the American way, silence all the T. On, you say simply on. If you want to go the British way, of course you have to pronounce the T, but not like how we really say. Like aren't, no, aren't. Just a few seconds. One, doesn't, don't, contracted, beauty, American style, can't, couldn't, won't, wouldn't, doesn't, don't, I don't know. We usually say I don't know. I don't know. They don't know. He doesn't know. And we don't know. Look at that. We don't know. Look at this. Hear this phrase. We don't know that, sir. We don't know that, sir. Another way to add beauty is connecting all the words together. We usually say, I don't know that, sir. There's a gap between one word and the other word. I don't know that, sir, sometimes. At least one gap in the middle. I don't know that, sir. There's a gap, one fraction of a second. I don't know. There's a gap. No. You have to put it together. That's the beauty. That's how you add beauty. I don't know that. She doesn't know that. It's not working. It's not like it is not working. But it is not working. You have to club it together. Isn't coming. He's not coming. Usually say. And he isn't coming. Darren needn't, like that. And then look at that. Some of the words some of the words similar, specifically the pronouns and prepositions. I've got two different forms when it comes to pronunciation. Sometimes it has got a strong form, sometimes it has got a weak form. Like when you say these words individually, it is always a strong form. You say it with enunciation, with a long sound. A, am, and, are, as, at, like that. But when you put the same word when spoken, you reduce the volume. You don't even say a. You say, you don't say, I have a pen. No. You don't even say, I have a pen. No. Unless you highlight it. Normal conversation, I have a pen. Simple, I have a pen. I have a pen together. Simply, not yeah at all. Similarly, the word A and D. We say, I have a pen and a pencil. You give a gap. If you give a gap, the beauty gets broken. The tone gets broken. If the tone gets broken, the beauty is lost. You say, I have a pen and, look at that, I have a pen and a pencil. I have a pen and a pencil. If you pronounce the D, it gets broken. The beauty is gone. You say, and. The D is almost gone. You don't have to pronounce the T. I have a pen and a pencil. I have a pen and a pencil. When you say it together. Okay, that's how. Look at this word, be. It is separately, but when you put the same word in a sentence, you say, I've been talking to you, I've been listening to you, I've been trying to say something. Been, not been. So that's the weak form. Weak form means that the sound, the volume gets down. With the strong form, the volume gets high. So you should always remember. So where do you use the strong form? When you say the word individually. Where do you use the weak form? When you say these words in spoken. When you use these words in spoken, you have to reduce the volume for all these words. You don't even say have. You only say of. Look at that. When you put the same word in a sentence, in spoken, you say of, not have. H is gone. Similarly, her, we say, simply it becomes ha. That's it. And sometimes H-I-M, look at that, in, it becomes im. I told them. I told them becomes I told him. I told them. exactly the way I told him, I told them. For both, they use the ending same, not H. If you add the H, that means it spoils the beauty. I told him, because I told him, look at that, there was a break in between. I told him, there's a break. It is not smooth. You have to bridge the gap by just going continuously. I told them, they told them, and we gave him, and they gave him. They spoke with him. Him, not H. H is always silent here when you put in a sentence, unless you highlight. Otherwise, it's always the same. Similarly, his. You say is, not his. It is his pen. It is his pen. You don't say it is his pen. If you say it is his, there's a gap. Then it spoils the rhythm. The beauty is lost. You say it is his pen. It is his pen. That means H is, you have to drop the H in order to get the beauty, in order to include the beauty. So that's how you have to speak English. That's how you have to go by. Otherwise, you cannot instill the beauty at all. You need to know these strong and weak forms, and you have to apply it appropriately. And then these contracted form, you have to use it appropriately. And then these are the other way, like some of the phrases, beginning phrases that we use. You have to go this way. Only then you can bring in the beauty. Otherwise, you're just a cliche. You will be speaking English just like the average way. And I would like to conclude by saying that it's up to you whether you would like to go with the professional way of speaking English or just the ordinary way of speaking English. It is up to you. But you know the advantages of speaking professional English, because wherever you go, they always say, if you're a professional speaker, that's it, that's well and good. They'll just pick you up. Any interview you go, they don't even check whether you have the other skills, because the other skills you can get maybe on the way, easily, easy. Those skills are easy to practice and get it easily. But the language skill, if you already have it perfect, they will always give you the preference, because that's the first thing. The rest all they can get it easily. Just imagine, we learn English starting from the pre-KG till the college. It comes almost like 18 years. And they say that if you're not good in communication skills, see, if you lack the other technical skills, that we can train you within a week. It's easy. You can pick it up even if you say that then you ask your friend, he just get to know all these a way how to work with this MS Word or MS Office. Easy, you can pick it up overnight, and then you go to the next day, and then you talk to your boss. Hey, boss, you know what? I know everything. You ask me everything, I can do that. That's easy, but not the language. You cannot learn it overnight. He would ask you a question. Come on, you don't know the English. How many years you been? He will ask you the question. How many years you been? Come for the job. 18 years you've been learning English. Today, that I can give you kind of a short period. Like, you want me to give you 1 week or 1 month of training? And what is the guarantee that you will pick up the language within 1 month of training on communication skills? And that's not my job. I'm not here to give you communication skills training. My job is software. That's my company. That's the job that I'm doing, not just training people on communication skills. If you're already good in communication skills, come forward. Even if you lag in software knowledge, we'll teach you overnight. You can get it up. So that's the scenario. So focus on this English language and get better. All the very best. Thank you. If you have any questions, please go ahead and we can discuss with all the questions you have. Please go ahead. Thank you all.
Unga Praya, Supuringa, Nigavam, Nandraga, Randada. It took me a lot of time to learn one single sentence in the beautiful language of Tamil. Just to say that your presentation was mind-boggling. It was fascinating. It was wonderful. That was some mind-licking and a bunch full of informative points to success and better communication. Thank you so much, sir, for making this event even more worthwhile. Now, with you, I think it's time for some fun and interactive session. So, are you all ready to ask in or put up any questions that you have for our honorable speaker? Because I myself want to know a thing or two and learn more. So do not miss this one-time opportunity. Please raise your hands and shoot your question. We'll unmute you as and when you raise your question. You may also ask the questions in the chat box. You may type the questions and sir will answer.
Anyone who has a question? Because, sir, I really want to know a thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I just think that all over the world, people are really stereotyped based on their accent. So, like, I think if it comes on communication or effective communication, accent shouldn't be the thing on which someone is stereotyped or rejected. So, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I absolutely agree with you. Like nobody says you have to speak American accent or British accent or you have to go that way. Nobody wants that. If you are able to speak English that is understandable to everybody, that's more than enough. That's what they expect. But if you have American accent or British accent, nobody says no, we don't want that kind of an accent. No, it is a nobody nowhere it is a negative. If you have it, it's an advantage for you. If you don't have it, at least if you're able to make everybody understand, that's well and good. But how we have to make others understand, at least pronounce English words appropriately so that you don't get misunderstood. For example, the word content. Content. The word has got one spelling, two different pronunciations, and two meanings. But if you like flip it, the meaning gets changed because if you say content, it's stuff, matter, or material. It's a noun form. But if you say the same word as content, that means satisfaction, or happy, or comfortable. That's the meaning. But we always in India, if you see the majority of the people, if you just take a survey or something, if you just give this word and ask them to pronounce it, they will always, almost 90% of the people will say that content to mean content. If you ask them what is the meaning, they will always say stuff, matter, or material. But if you say the word content, the meaning is satisfaction or happy. But they would always understand that content means stuff or matter or material. And most of them would not even have the idea that means satisfaction. So likewise, at least those words, not all the words, if not. We don't recommend you, we don't suggest you to go learn all the words in the English language, how to pronounce it perfectly. No. At least the words that we use it correctly, and then make sure that you pronounce it correctly. And that's more than enough. But how to learn it? I don't know anything about it. Easy. Technology has developed. You have this website, dictionary.cambridge.org. It's an online dictionary. Simply, if you don't even know the exact web address, that's okay. Go to Google. Dictionary, online dictionary. Simply, you've got plenty of dictionaries. You have this Oxford English Dictionary, Cambridge English Dictionary, Collins Dictionary, Merriam-Webster's Dictionary. There's so many. Every dictionary have got their own online dictionary as well. Just put the word there. Next to the word in bracket, you'll have the speaker symbol. Click that word. Hear that. Click that word. Hear that. Hear that a couple of times. 5 times. 10 times. Grab it exactly how it is said. And then you practice yourself a couple of times. 10 times, 20 times, 50 times. And then that's it. You put it online. When you go talk to anybody, apply the same. Of course, you're going to get a lot of criticism, but you'll have to keep on practicing in order to get that perfect. That's the way you have to do it. I'm not recommending you, please, you have to learn American accent or British accent. At least learn to pronounce English words correctly. But if you speak with those kind of style, you always have an advantage. It is never a disadvantage.
Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
If anybody else has a question, you may raise your hand and we'll unmute you from here. Sir, I definitely have a question.
Yes.
Sir, as we know that along with verbal communication, non-verbal communication too plays an important role. So how can we perfect our non-verbal communication?
So non-verbal communication mean the body language. They always mean non-verbal. Like if you talk about communication, majority of the percentage goes to non-verbal communication. Body language and the voice up and down, the tone or tempo you call it. Like how affected that you need to practice it. For example, if somebody in a classroom, if you ask somebody and then ask him to stand in front of the students and then say words, start looking at the language, they cannot control it. They'll start scratching. Sometimes they'll just put their hand like this. They start putting their leg like this, a hand like this. Sometimes the leg front and forward, and they put their hands into the pocket sometimes, and sometimes they adjust their dresses. Nothing, they won't even talk. Simply within few seconds, they'll do all these things. These are the negative exposition when you go stand and talk, because non-verbal communication also matters a lot when you communicate. Moreover, how to perfect it, that's only through practice. You need to get the awareness first, what is what, and then you'll have to practice it. That's not something that you can get overnight. And this, if you see these radio jockeys or video jockeys on the TV, they will just work on the body language. They would have given a lot of training on their body language, because they go live. They should be very careful about every movement, every single movement. Even if they're going to raise one finger, every finger that you raise has got different meaning. So be very careful about it, because they will give you a lot of training, and then they will just put you they will assess you with a lot of parameters, and finally they will put you on the live. That's how you have to develop so many videos, YouTube videos, through which you can learn all those things. Those are not difficult to learn. You can learn it easily, but you have to practice. That is the challenging one. How to practice? Probably at home. You switch on the video. Everybody has got a cell phone on the video. Just start giving a talk and then capture everything and then watch yourself. You yourself will see that your body goes all over. Those are negative way to just show something. You can just work on it a bit. And moreover, when we talk, we just stand like a statue and then keep on talking. But you have to use your body movement. That's most important. For example, if I say that, look there, I just don't even use my body language. If I say, look there, everybody will be scratching their head. Where? 360-degree or there only? But which direction you're showing? But just verbal communication alone won't work. Because sometimes it may fail. But you need to use your body language as well. If you say that, look there, you point out with your finger or with your hand, everybody without any second thought, immediately they'll just look that direction and no confusion at all. So that's the power of body language. And either just the word or the sentence alone, I was not effective, but the word, the hand movement alone. Even if you don't even say anything, you show the hand something, everybody will look at their direction. So that's the power of body language. And whenever you talk, you have to start using your body movement, your fingers, your hand, according to whatever you say. Suppose you say that if you number something like 4, I saw 4 people standing outside, something like that. 4. If you simply say 4, sometimes maybe the listener might have understood or might have used always 4, or must be heard. Only then they'll understand. Oh, they mean the number 4. Sometimes if you say 4. What is that 4? But if you say 4, then instantly they'll understand, oh, you're talking about the number 4. 4. And then I saw there was a tiny, look at that, tiny, even if you want to mean size, use the word size. There's a tiny little bit of insect I saw outside. Oh, there's a big, look at that, big. Instantly, if you use your body movement, the listener, the audience will understand it instantly without any problem, even if they're not going to understand your pronunciation or the way how you say it, like a style. But if you use your body movement, with that, their mind will calculate and understand what you're trying to say. So that's non-verbal communication. That has to be practiced. Like how videos are there, we get the awareness, practice yourself, and then self-test yourself, and then go live. That's the way you have to do it. I hope I gave you something. Yes, ma'am?
Thank you, sir. Yes, definitely. I'll start working on it from today itself.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have
Now,
another question?
yeah,
Yes.
I would like to call on Mr. Saksham, then followed by Miss Ilma for the question.
Thank you. Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes. Hello. Hi. Good afternoon.
So you just talked about accent and it's important, and you plus two have a very fluent accent. So my question is based on accent. Accent, as we all know, that is one of the most prevalent things in today's generation. Sir, do you really think so? It should be the sole criteria for the people to judge someone who is not so confident about the fluency in English or his accent? Is knowledge not sufficient for him to convey his thoughts?
Okay, great. First of all, we need to understand accent. Accent is the like everything, like the way how you speak. But I don't think I never used the word accent. You have to get the accent. I only said American style or British style. And of course, whatever you asked, I really appreciate that. Nobody is expecting it. It's never a criteria anywhere that you need to have American accent or British accent. What I'm saying is that at least you need to pronounce English words perfectly. But again, if you really want to call yourself, I'm a professional speaker, that means that includes the verbalization as well, the way how you pronounce English words correctly. That also matters a lot because every word has got multiple pronunciation with a multiple meaning. For example, I even gave you the word content. Similarly, the words like object, object, project, project. Look at that, the same spelling. But the pronunciation is, there are two pronunciations and two different meanings. Look at the word defect, defect. If we say defect, we always say defect to mean a fault, error, or mistake. But actually, the pronunciation has to be flipped. It should be defect if you want to mean the noun form. If you say defect, it means a noun, meaning a fault, error, a mistake. But if you say defect, it's a verb meaning moving from one point to another point. You understand that? So that's the meaning of defect. So what I say is that you should, that's why I ended in the beginning. It's up to you whether you want to speak an ordinary English or an extraordinary English. If you want to speak extraordinary English, then I'm sure that you should definitely focus on to at least the pronunciation of English, not the accent. That is different. Accent is different. I'm not focusing on that. At least the word level pronunciation, at least the connectivity, connecting words together. Is it very challenging, do you think, if you say, sir, I will come, sir? Instead of telling, I will come, sir, you can easily say, I'll come, sir. That's the way you bring in the beauty. Those are easy things only I'm talking about, not the challenging. I'm not talking about you must get the accent. I'm only suggesting that if you get the pronunciation, proper pronunciation, that adds more value. Okay, like if you go as a candidate for an interview, it's up to you. They'll just, of course, they are going to assess the way how you're speaking. Just imagine you're a genius. You know everything about everything, anything about everything, but your communication skills are just average. Average means just below good. Look at that. Below good is average. And then they ask you a question, you try to explain something with the average English, and you're not with the average English, you won't be able to explain anything effectively. That's the matter here. So what they would think, okay, this guy doesn't know anything, because they don't know that you're a genius. You may say this, sir, you might even ask, sir, have you selected me or rejected me? They would say that, no, I've rejected you. How can you reject me, sir? I'm a genius. You just ask me any question anywhere in Tamil or in Hindi, I can tell you everything easily. But just the English, I'm not very well versed in. Just imagine you're going to talk to the clients. If you're going to just, you're an employee. If you're not able to make the clients understand what you speak, I'm talking about global communication. Every top-notch companies have got clients from all over the world. Just imagine, if you're not able to make the clients understand, the clients will say, hey, what are you talking? I don't even understand anything. So that's what I'm talking about. At least if you pronounce the words correctly, they will get it easily. And if you're going to be a genius, and if you're unable to expose your genius quality with the effective communication, nobody will ever come to know that you're a genius. How will they know? Is there any certificate or something you just show them you're a genius, and they would say, hey, come on. What's the point of you being a genius? They might even say that. You don't even know how to communicate. You don't even know how to make the client understand. Then what's the point of you being a genius? Of course, being a genius that's secondary. First, you should know how to communicate effectively. That's the first thing. Then we can talk about the other thing. Go home and practice your English. At least speak some effective English. Then we will take you. That's what probably they would say, I believe. So you need to focus on to that level, the upper level, at least very good level. Just imagine. I don't know if I don't know Hindi. Otherwise, I would just start talking in Hindi, try to say something. For example, if I like whatever I know, I'll just try with Hindi, the number. Ek, dok, charu. If I start saying the number, because it is inappropriate, just below average, I cannot say. By just saying Hindi like ek, dok, charu, das, If I say like that, I cannot even say that I speak good Hindi. Can I say good Hindi? I would even say it's poor Hindi because the pronunciation is very poor. If I speak like that, and then there is a company that I go attend for an interview, and then they also expect me to speak good Hindi, do you think that they will hire me? Because I'm just below average. How would they take me? A similar way, English. Every company will always look every candidate to speak professional English today. Just imagine your level of English is completely different from the kind of English that today's generation. We're talking about the guys at school. They speak much better English than us because generation by generation they get better, they get updated. Not like the grown-ups, not like the middle-aged people. So obviously, trendy English, that's always expected by every employee. You need to be trendy, not only with your hairstyle, your dressing sense, also with your language as well. So how trendy do you speak? How intelligible you speak? Intelligible means how understandable your English is. That matters a lot. Obviously, but I will say that for your question, communication, I'm not talking about accent or whatever, but effective communication is a key to get selected in an interview. Effective communication would definitely also include correct pronunciation of English words. I hope to some extent, I gave you the, I satisfied with your question, sir?
Thank you so much, sir.
You are welcome.
As we're running out of time. So, okay, this was really fun and interactive. I hope you all got your answers as to ways to answer them. It was, I think, really descriptive and right to the point. And thank you so much for cooperating and answering all of our questions with great patience and enthusiasm. Last but not least, I would like to call upon the most noteworthy and of BA English Honors third year to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, Afrika.
In the name of Almighty, the most gracious, the most merciful. Good afternoon to all of you. I hope you had enjoyed today's workshop, Importance of Speaking in the Corporate World, organized by Amity School of Languages Coffee House. First and foremost, I express my gratitude to our distinguished director, Professor Dr. Kumkumre, who is the pillar of support for all of us. Next, I thank our chief guest, Dr. Suresh, for accepting the invitation at the very short notice and gracing this occasion. I am very much obliged to the organizers, Dr. A.B.R. Prasad and Dr. Archana Gupta, for giving their valuable contribution. And I thank you for giving this opportunity to showcase our potential to the outside world. Now, I would like to extend my thanks to all the delegates from different parts of the country. It shows rich heritage and culture of India. I would like to thank all my teammates who supported this workshop directly and indirectly. The student coordinator, Ms. Ilma Khan, the technical team, Ms. Ilma Khan, Mr. Dipanshu Pandey, and Ms. Richa Rajput, as well as the performers of Day 3, Ms. Navya Srivastava, Ms. Upnoor Kaur, Ms. Pramita, Mr. Sudhir Shukla. Thank you for all your cooperation and support. Furthermore, I thank all the faculty members and educators for giving their valuable time, thereby making this 5 days workshop a grand success. Finally, I thank each and every participant. Thank you for showing your enthusiasm towards this workshop and ensuring a smooth conduct of this function. Thank you for all your love, support and cooperation. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Afifa, for putting light on all the people with whose effort this event today was a success.
We both are really grateful and thankful to all of you for joining this event today, holding tight throughout and making it even more engrossing.
It's our great pleasure that we could address such distinguished personalities. Thanks to all the speakers and people involved on and off stage. It would have not been possible without any of you.
I agree with Navya, and we'll be eagerly looking forward to all of you continuing with us on this 5-day journey of the most interesting and engrossing seminar I have come across. Hoping to see you all again tomorrow at 11 a.m. sharp.
Now, I would request each and everyone to switch on their cameras so that we can click a screenshot and definitely relish these memories afterwards.
I cannot say, sir. Yeah. Such happy and bright faces. Wow. Just a second. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining, and please don't forget to fill the feedback form. The link is in the chat box and also in the WhatsApp group. So please fill the feedback form. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you all had a blast. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
You.